Tuck. This is my epoch. Welcome back. Welcome back to all you who joined me in my live stream and to those of you that joined me post live stream. So you may notice that my voice is kind of it gets a little monotone, but a lot of the reason why it's monotone is because of the mic. I don't have any way to actually control it. So one of the things that I've noticed in the quality of my videos, or at least doing the recordings with the mic, is I'm not able to fluctuate my voice as much as I used to. Now, this is going to be something that I have to teach myself to do, so on and so forth. But anyways, today is it's open mic, so we're going to talk about what you guys want to talk about. I'm gonna answer your questions. We're going to go off topic. Hey, Jeremy, glad to see you made it. I hope I'm not being too loud. I hope I'm not peaking on your computer. If I do get too loud, please let me know. If the sound cuts out, please let me know. I always ask people, but anyways, Jeremy, if you were over on Patreon, um, sorry, I'm reading messages coming through. I've been catching up with a friend that I've been missing out. Live stream karaoke, yes, live stream karaoke. Okay, so if you are checking over on Patreon, I put a link up to this guide to be homeless that I think I put it up over there to ask for your guys' feedback. I've asked some people for some feedback. I've gotten some feedback about it. I'm satisfied with the feedback that I've got, but I always like, you're a bit hot on the mic. Okay, so I wonder if, is this better? Am I a lot lower this way? Tell me if this works, because now I got the mic a little bit farther away from me. So, hey, brother, been enjoying your content. All right, Mr. Beaker, I am so glad you've been enjoying the content. Until you guys, I'm glad to see you guys here and stuff like that, but I always let chat blow up a little bit, let you guys get started, say your hellos and ask your questions. And I want to talk a little bit now. There are some changes that's going on, if you guys don't notice. So you're a bit okay. Yeah, that is worse. It's half the column and echoing. Oh, damn. All right. Well, what should I expect from a $26 mic? I mean, my Rode mic was like $60 when I bought it. So, is this any better? Let's see if this works. Okay. So I'm just trying to find a good distance, and I don't have headphones to be able to do my own monitoring and to kind of hear how loud I am being and stuff like that. So a lot of this is just the feedback from you guys, but I'm gonna let you guys know some of the different things that are happening, some of the changes that are happening. Okay, Mr. Beaker, that's good. It's better. All right, so I can talk a little bit louder by having it a little bit low, but I still got to have it close. So as you see where it is. All right, so now we found a happy medium that works for everybody. All right, hey, Outdoors, glad to see you. You're good. We can hear you. That's the important part. Yeah, but one of the things that I have found out, that it's a very interesting stat, even though YouTube is a video platform, if your sound sucks, it doesn't matter how good your video quality is, people will not listen. But you can have the crappiest video quality, but have great sound and have a great topic, and people will listen to you all day long. That's why I don't put as much effort as I could into the editing process. I'm doing it now. I'm starting to. If you guys notice, I've started removing my background. I've started working on getting better mic. I've started working on all these other things. So if you're over on Patreon, there's two types of programs, or two platforms that you can get into. Okay, the first platform is the behind the scenes. If you do the behind the scenes, you are bound to keep quiet. That's a private conversation between me and you. It's not meant to be shared out. It's not meant to even be talked about here in public on YouTube. But also, I have the Hobo tutorials plus behind the scenes, so you get access to both videos for $10 a month. Well, I have been doing, like, on Mondays I'll do the Hobo tutorials. Wednesdays I will do the behind the scenes, but I'm doing them both on Monday because the Tuesday I tend to talk a little bit more about what's going on, not necessarily what's behind the scenes, because there are things that I'm not going to talk about out here that I do talk about back there, so that there is a contrast and difference. But for the most part, I am, I'm trying to kind of figure out a real good schedule for me. Um, I don't. My big thing is I'm running a website. I'm running Patreon. I'm now starting to commit to a weekly newsletter. So now I got to come up with content with that, and then all these other things. And I think that um, I'm going to. Okay, so if you read the article in which I posted, like if you're not a subscriber to hobotuck.com and to my blog and my newsletter, go over there and you will get a guide to being homeless. Okay, so this is the what I did with this was I wanted to do something that would allow people to kind of create a plan of action. So a lot of you guys have been asking me, saying, "Hey, Tuck, will you give us a guide? Will you give us a gear list? Will you give us some stuff so that we know what to have?" And it's in the homeless situation. It's so unique to the individual because a lot of it depends upon your plans. What do you plan on doing? Are you going to travel? Are you not going to travel? All these different things matter, and so it's very hard to be able to just sit there and write one guide that's going to encompass everything. Either I focus on urban homelessness, or I focus on rural homelessness, or I focus on traveling or train hopping. I mean, you have the working homeless. You have all these different categories and subcategories within the homeless. It's kind of hard to tell you how to live as all of them. Okay, but I touch a little bit on each one of them in my videos. If you watch my content long enough, you'll hear me talk about the working class. You'll hear me talk about the junkies. You'll hear me talk about the super crazies and the criminal element and all these different sub communities within the homeless community. Because the thing is when you become homeless, you're going to have to figure out what community do I fit into, and um, you don't know what community you're going to fit into unless you're going to take one of two approaches. The first approach is what most people do. I'm homeless. What do I do now? That's the worst thing that you can do. Why is it the worst thing that you can do? Because without direction is kind of probably what got you to where you're at to begin with. One. Two, you just having that direction, having something to give you focus, to give you hope, to give you a goal, to give you something to work towards. Because out here, even like right now, I a couple of days ago, I had actually yesterday, I had an interaction at St. Anthony's to the point where I am considering approaching the friar and starting the legal process. Because I'm that pissed off. I still can't get over how pissed off I am about what happened. Okay, so um, you you don't when it comes to choosing the community and sorry, my mind is all over the place right now because honestly, when I talk about it again, I'm still really, really, really frustrated. Uh, Essentially, because I told Sam to sit twice. Oh, she's not a service dog. Da, 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 da. Guy comes up, gets in my face. This is a staff and employee, just like what I had happen over in Covington. But this guy was going after Sam because she wouldn't sit after two times. So I forced her to sit. Oh, well, that's not how you. And the guy was too busy creating contention and trying to run me out. Not because I didn't have the right to be there, but because he had his own prejudice about how things should go. He had his own viewpoint. It's like if it doesn't look the way I want it to look, then therefore it isn't. Okay, and it's frustrating having to deal with people like that because even when I'm like I explain to them, it's like she's in training. What do you expect? I'm gonna have to tell her to do certain things a few times. She's in a high stress environment for her because she's in a building around a lot of people going into a food line, and she has to walk through that line with me, and then she has to deal with the food and then people grabbing at her and all this other stuff. That's part of the reason why she spazzes out. Okay, but this guy was just coming after me to come after me, and it made me so mad that I'm sitting there. I'm still pondering it because when you do a civil suit like this against somebody, it's gonna take some time. I would be lucky to settle out of court in less than 90 days. I would really be lucky. It's going to go through a long, drawn-out process, And my personal opinion when it comes to suing people, it's not really worth it, because you could sue them, you could win, you could put a lien on them, but if they don't have the money, you're not getting anything. This is why lawyers will either take a case or not take a case, because if there's nothing to go after, it doesn't matter if you win. Okay, and then when you go after large organizations, those guys are going to tie you up for so long that you're going to spend so much money that all the stuff that what you won is going to go to legal fees to begin with. So what's the point in doing it unless you run your own process? Okay, and that may be the route that I have to go, or go with a pro bono attorney if he wants to pick it up. But this is something that I might even approach the ACLU about, just because this fits right in their criteria. But the thing is, because I tried to get the ACLU involved one time, they will only take cases that will allow them to get large media attention. If there's not going to be any media attention, if they can't take it and blow it up in the media and get the court of public opinion on their side, then they won't take a case. It doesn't matter about right or wrong or their values. They're strictly about, can we promote ourselves and tell everybody how great we're doing. We'll do it for you for free, because it's basically advertising for us, and this is how they get their funding. And it just anyways. So but things are kind of, I've got a website that I've got to move on to, that I've got to work on, because I really want to build it. And I'm getting frustrated being in the city, because I prefer being out in the woods. It's more peaceful. But the thing is the access to resources, the infrastructure to be able to run a YouTube channel, to be able to build it into what I want to build it. I could do it out on the road, but how much more difficult is it going to be versus being able to do it here? And how much time do I have left? Okay, because there's a limited amount of time. Things are escalating, and eventually what will end up happening is you're going to have turmoil, chaos, civil unrest, and everything in between shortly over the next few years. And so I want to be able to, get myself pre-positioned so that I can weather the storm. Because see, that was my mistake with my janitorial business, is the one thing I didn't prepare for is the one thing I probably should have been preparing for, just in a different way. And we probably wouldn't have had the issues that we did, but I didn't prepare properly. So but anyways, so let's go into the comments and see what everybody's been saying. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Have the sounds better with the mic down. Okay, better. Okay, you're good. All right. So what's up, outdoors? Clip it on my beard. That's funny. I might do that, but I don't think that'll work, because, well, it is an omnidirectional mic. So 80% of my YouTube is with my screen off and just audio on my headphones. I'm curious if you guys watch the videos. In the comments, type 1. If you just listen to my videos in the background as you're doing things, type 2. I'm just curious to see how you guys consume my content. Now that Jeremy's talked about it, my stepmom, she consumes things in the background while she's working, and I notice that a lot of people do that. So love that you sat down in front of a no loitering sign. Yeah, well, they don't care, and they can't really do anything about it because of what happened in the Ninth Circuit Court. This is what is so important about the arguments that were heard a couple weeks ago. Oh, and speaking of Mark Horvath, I think I may have mentioned this in my last live stream, but I think I need to really reevaluate how I approach him, because he actually did some good content on the what's going on in the Supreme Court. But the thing is it never really got pushed out. I am a subscriber to his channel, because not only because he's a competitor, but sometimes I like to watch his stuff just to make me feel better about my situation. It's feel good, knowing that you don't have it as bad as somebody else. So, but anyway, so I think maybe he's doing more than I think he is, but I think a lot of it is that YouTube is not pushing his content out. And this guy has 500,000 subscribers.
So it makes me wonder if there's something in the analytics that's happening, or if this is about policy and kind of not trying to bring too much awareness to certain things, or if it's just like the mood of the public that they don't really care. Not until it starts to affect them and then they start caring. Because here's the one thing. Here's the reason why the primary reason why I created this guide in the manner in which I did. Okay, because even me, before I go homeless, what I do is I go out and I start doing my research. I start looking at the different cities. Has homelessness improved? What was homeless? Because I know what homeless has been like. Has it improved? What are the rules? What are the laws? How much more obstacles do I have to overcome in certain areas that I'm in, or is it gotten easier so that I can function a lot better? What are the nuances that have changed? Plus, I also am going to be looking up resources, kind of figuring out where resources are. You can use maps. Like if you're going to use Google Maps, just type in homeless shelters Philadelphia, okay? And if you see like more than 2 homeless shelters that are for men, then you know that they have abundance in services. Yes, there's a lot of people there, but they also have abundance in services as well because of the large population there. Now, you go to somewhere like LA and Skid Row, now there's so many there that nobody, there's not an abundance. There's like no resources because everything's drained. There's nothing left. I mean, maybe things have changed, but when I was there in 2012, 2013, yeah, it was. I mean, they gave you $200 a month for 6 months and SRO for 10 days, and that was a once-in-a-lifetime benefit, and that was it. You never got anything more than that. So, but anyways, yeah, this guide is to kind of help you develop a plan. But I don't know, if you guys want to check it out, it's not like you have to pay for it. All you got to do is subscribe and let me send you newsletters and tell you, talk to you about homelessness and things that you can do. And I think honestly that's where I'm really going to focus on my advocacy, because a lot of people compliment me on my writing skills, and so being able to write articles that are geared towards homeless advocacy, homeless awareness, because and homeless education, because I asked in the polls. I gotta say thank you guys for the polls, but you guys overwhelmingly said that I am more in homeless education and homeless awareness as my secondary. And so, I mean, that kind of tells me a lot of like how you guys are receiving my content, what content that you find that you like. The stuff that's educational and brings awareness to situations seems to be where I do well. So anyways, that is that. Okay, so oh nice, we're sitting at about 20 people in here. I want to say hi to everybody that showed up. Welcome. I'm Friar Tuck. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Join us in chat. We're having a good old time. My live streams are a lot like Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Okay, so we do this every Tuesday, and we do this every Saturday at we do Tuesdays at 6 and Saturdays at 3. And come join us, enjoy the conversation, because this is your opportunity to be able to ask things, to be able to get my point of view on things, to just kind of have a conversation as a community. As you notice, we're just kind of having an open conversation. There's no real direction here, and considering my brain is all over the place today, it's this is kind of working out. So love that. Okay, Mr. Beaker, someone would have. Okay. Hey Joe, good to see you. Okay. See Joe, he's a regular here. Jeremy's a regular here. Everybody's a regular here. So went on an adventure to Cooper Alley today here in Boise. I'm really disappointed. I saw 0 used needles and no one offered me drugs. Yeah, I know. I mean, but the thing is, you're probably in the wrong part of town. You just need to go a little bit deeper into the ghetto. You're just probably on the edge of the ghetto in the industrial park. So, am I, okay. Okay, so 2 is, okay, so everybody, so you guys, okay, so 1 was, so 2 was if you listen to it in the background, 1 is if you watch it. So 1 and 2, 1. Okay, so it seems like it's split 50-50. So, like, those of you that see my visual effects, what do you think of them? Is it entertaining? I kind of get a chuckle out of them because, it's kind of goofy. So, I watch live streams, listen to recorded ones generally. Oh, okay, cool. So, your mic. Oh, crap. Okay, is my mic back on? Yeah, it looks like it's back on. So it looks like I don't know how long I've been without a mic, but thank you for letting me know. Okay, I generally watch. Your mic just died, dude. The Boise shelter is power tripping. Yeah, it generally is, and the staff, they use their position to be able to attack you, to go against you, all these different things. Okay. So, this is what it's like when you're homeless, is if you want to go get resources, there are those, they're virtue signaling, like, oh, look at me, look at what I do for a living. I work with the homeless. I help for the homeless. Oh, I have a heart. I'm humane. No, they're not. There is, I think out here there is 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 out of maybe the 30 or so, employees that service the homeless in the places that I go to, that truly, that they truly are there, that they care. I'm not talking about the volunteers, although the volunteers is kind of 50-50 there, but God damn it. Let's see here. Hold on. I know my mic just died. It's not this, it's that. I did not charge it. Okay. Alright. So, the mic is down, but can you guys hear me? I'm gonna skip to chat at the end of chat real quick. I'm gonna come back to you, Joe, and King Katarina. Katura. Okay. So, can you still hear me, or am I really low? Because now I'm actually talking pretty loud. Damn, I think the camera mic's better than the mic. Okay. That's good to know. Okay, good to know. Okay. Well, but the thing is that the camera mic does not do the cutout of the background noise. If you notice, you could probably hear more of the traffic around me now. I mean, I got rush hour traffic going on around me. So the sound of that versus the sound of this. But this is an iPhone. iPhones are supposedly, well, they used to be known for good hardware and good software when it comes to sound. But they're not as good as they used to be. So, okay, let's see. Okay, so yeah, your mic just died. I was gonna film Cooper out. Okay, agree with outdoors. Not everywhere has any programs for homeless either. Major cities always do, but in the rural areas, not really anything. But here's the thing. There is. The churches, King Katura, the churches. So, McMinnville, okay, it is probably 30-40 miles outside of Portland. Okay, Portland really is a small town. It only has like about 200,000 people, 500,000 if you include the metro part of the metroplex. Like 2.5 is the total region if you count the Tri-County area. But Portland itself is only about 500,000 people. Last I checked. Okay, and so they only had they shut down a shelter. There's only 2 shelters in that whole city. And that's considered a major city, but you also got to look at the population. But 30 miles outside of town, outside of the rural metroplex, I mean way out, like next county over, and at the edge of that county, they still had the church there, and the church provided services. Now, the churches will help the homeless. They will take the opportunity to assist the homeless, but in smaller towns, you generally tend to have maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 guys. If you've got less than, let's say, 5,000 people, you might have no more. You'll have about 1% of your population that will be homeless. Okay, it's just the way that the stats work. It's 1%. If you look across any city and look at their homeless population, the ones that are having the biggest problems are the ones that have greater than 1%. Right now, I'm moving this closer so I can lean back on my bag. right now, places like San Francisco, Portland, LA, Seattle, they have such a high amount of homeless that they can't actually take care of the people in which they do. And then all it does is creates the situation, makes it worse because more and more people are struggling, and that means that you have to start leaning on the general community, and it depends upon how the community is going to receive it. But at the end of the day, it really you're gonna, if you have 5,000 people, you're gonna have 5 people that are homeless. They're gonna be drunks. They're gonna be truly indigent people, because the community in those smaller towns do more to take care of their people. Plus, the cost of living's less, and they make sure they'll even give them somebody will have a plot of land and just give the guy a place to stay, tell him he's got to be clean, and just give him a place to stay. People do that all the time in the really, really small communities. I've had it happen to me while I was traveling the Florida Trail. Just a guy sees the homeless. There's a very small homeless population. They just need a place to sleep. He lets you sleep in his backyard. Coolest dude I ever met, too. I really liked meeting that guy. But, just the smaller towns and the bigger towns are different, because in the bigger towns, you're more government dependent. And that's the way it's designed, is because the government gets control over dependency, but the public willfully gives it up because we're indoctrinated from birth to death that we pay all these taxes, which your income tax does not go towards the federal budget, does not pay anything. Okay, but you pay all these taxes so that you can get these benefits, and now you got people that are whatever. Okay, so just. Sorry, I lost my spot again. Again, my brain is on overload today. So, but just when it comes to when it comes to just everything that's going on, you just gotta All right, guys. I do apologize. I will. You guys know I have brain damage, and that sometimes I just get to a point where I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so exhausted that I can't keep coherent thoughts. And I think this is probably the worst you guys have seen me in a very, very, very long time, if you have ever seen me this way. I took the weekend off, but I didn't really take the weekend off. Okay, so, homeless. Oh, and by the way, if you want to help the channel out by making any type of contribution, you can come over to Patreon. You can leave a tip down in the tip jar. You can become a subscriber to my newsletter. Whatever works for you. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, don't forget to become a subscriber. But anyways, let's see. Homeless education, because the homeless population is going to be growing huge soon. Yes, All-American Prepper, I 100% agree with you, okay? Okay, I actually had this thought last night, and I want to see, because you're the one that inspired this. If anybody hasn't gone over to All-American Preppers channel, he has a segment going. It's a little role-playing game where it gives you scenarios, and then you make comments, and depending upon whether you get comments and stuff like that, you win prizes and stuff like that. But I do it because the scenario is so compelling, I have no choice but to put in an answer, just because otherwise I will just sit there and stew on it for days. Okay, but imagine somebody coming up to you and saying, okay, in the next 18 months, if you're not prepared, you're going to be meat for the grinder. Okay, and points out all the different things, from what's going on with the banks, what's going on with the economy, what's going on with the supply chain, what's going on with the with Ukraine, what's going on with the Middle East, what's going on in Africa, what's going on in the Caribbean, what's going on in Asia. We have so many hot conflicts, and tensions are being drawn, lines are being drawn, people are choosing sides, and it's just a matter of time, because now we've got the British and the French that are already have troops in Ukraine. And they're using the argument, and at least this is what I've heard. They're using the argument that, Russia claims this as being heritage land, so Ukraine is Russia anyway, so I mean, we're already in Russian borders. So they're it's another way to make fun of Russia, but I thought it was funny that they're using that as an argument. Maybe they did it in humor, just to point and laugh and go, ha ha ha, I'm not touching you. So, but anyways, but just imagine you got 18 months to prepare. What do you do in that 18 months, and how do you plan your long-term survival? Okay, not short-term survival, because I think a lot of preppers, they prepare for short-term survival, 3 months, 6 months. I'm talking about 3 years, 10 years before we have some semblance of normalcy where we get put back together. Because if we have civil unrest, or if global war makes it here to the shores of America and we are stuck fighting, you got to realize, not only do we become a war zone, a third world country, but then you're going to have outside forces that are going to come in here, establish order, reestablish the economy, reestablish the government, keep peace between the sides, and just try and put the country back together after they got done blowing it up. Okay, so I mean, what is your survival plan until you get to that point where they finally put it together? How long did it take us to put Iraq together after we blew it up? How long did it take us to put Afghanistan together after we blew it up? How long has it taken us to put a country together after we blew it up? Okay, that is what you really should be planning for, because it's either going to happen internally or externally, but it's going to happen. And so, just like with how the food supply is being disrupted, because you're blowing up our farmland, and so now you have an expanding population with a dwindling food supply. What's going to happen? You are creating everything for conflict. So what's your launching point? What is your plans? How do you expect to be able to get yourself going? There are going to be places where the grid is still working, where you might have electricity and running water. Because if you watch something like what's it called, Walking Dead, like the Rust Belt was the one place that survived. That's actually what gave me the idea of the Rust Belt. I started looking at the Rust Belt, and I started realizing why your best chances for survival are in the Rust Belt. I actually had somebody pay me money so that I could tell them, and and they bought property, and they're in the Rust Belt. So if you're going to survive, you need to be in walkable cities. If you're going to survive, you need to be able to learn how to live outside without anything, because maybe 30% of the population won't be able to work, whereas 70% of the population will. And out of that 70%, half will be able to afford a place to live, and maybe at least 20 to 50% of them may not be able to afford a place to live, because they got to afford something to eat, or they got to pay their bills so that they can exist, because you got to pay $100 or $200 phone bill so that the job can call you and tell you that they're going to pay you $10 an hour. I mean, it is what it is, but that is the future that we're looking at. So what is the foundation? What is the infrastructure? How do you network with people? How do you create how do you create your plan of action when it comes to surviving this? Because as things escalate, as things keep pushing, this kind of seems to be the path in which we're on. And at first it started out, it was kind of cloudy. It's like we might go to war, we might not go to war. Oh, well, we might go to war over there, but it won't come over here. Oh, well, we might not go to war over there, but it will come over here, and we will also have to deal with cyber issues as well, because of what happened with the bridge in Baltimore, and I think the other one in New York. And there's other things that are going on around the country that we're not being told, because people don't want to admit, due to pride, greed, or whatever it may be, that they've been compromised. And because their failure to tell us and to alarm us so that we can do a call to arms. I mean, right now they've been trying to fill the network security industry. I kind of regret, when I started off in my technical school, I started off in network security. I went over to network administration because I ended up getting a job with a network consulting firm, and I figured, well, you know what, this is going to be the path that I'm on. So I made the transition. I kind of regret it now, because I probably would have had a better experience. I'd probably still be in the IT field, because security is something that I like. It's kind of like playing a game of chess, or trying to figure out how to create the perfect wall that nobody can penetrate. There are some topics or hobbies that you obsess about, and this is one of those for me. So Okay, yes, but I do think that I had somebody tell me I was full of crap to say that we were going to have 30 to 90 million homeless today in one of the comments. And I'm like, dude, you're not looking at what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm catching up to the hysteria because I'm finding out some of this hysteria is not correct. It is misinformation, but it's been passed around for so long as correct information that even the wrong information is being passed around as truth, and so you don't even know what's truth anymore, and it lends creed to truth is subjective. So, did I miss the free giveaway? No, Chief, you did not. If you want the guide to being homeless, you go over to hobotuck.com and you subscribe to my newsletter. Once you confirm the subscription, and make sure you check your junk folder too. But once you confirm your subscription, you'll get a follow-up email, which will have a link that will have a document that you can read. It's about 6 pages long that will kind of go over the beginning to end of how to not only be homeless, but it walks you through the different phases of homelessness, kind of explains what to expect, and kind of gives a little bit of advice on how to navigate that, what to expect, how to plan. Because again, it all boils down to a plan. What is it? Piss poor performance, or piss poor planning leads to piss poor performance. And so, there's a lot of truth in that. And when you're in this situation, you have no structure. So the more structure that you create for yourself, the quicker and easier and a lot less harder of a time that you have getting back up on your feet. Now, it is a little frustrating. It is grueling. It does take a lot of time, but that's just the way it is. Okay. So, no, I'm not Muslim. I actually follow a guy by the name of Billy Meyer, Meier. Yeah. AAP, at least I'm in. Okay. Okay. Hey, just a guest. Nice to see you. We heard it. Oh, you good. Okay, good. Hello from Thailand. Hey, from Thailand. Was it Ross Mobile Lifestyle? Okay, let's see. Oh, it was audio from the camera. Okay, yeah. Mike died. Yeah, Mike died. Mike down again. Yeah, I already got that. Just use the phone. It sounds fine. Just some road noise. Okay, yeah, we've already established that. I know I'm behind on the comments, but hey, at least I'm at a point in my YouTube growth to where I can sit there and read every one of your guys' comments. When I got 100,000 comments going through, I will have to hire somebody to read those comments, because my goal is to never be too big to read a comment. I want to be able to read and have some sort of personalized message that goes back. And if I ever get that big, I may hire some people to do it, but I will still make sure that a personalized message gets set back, because I think that's really what I think that's the benefit, that's the icing on the cake that YouTube offers us as creators, is the ability to develop relationships and positive and authentic interactions with our viewer base, which not only develops loyalty and brand loyalty and all that other stuff, but it's just nice to know that you are able to be good enough to a person to where they value you a lot. Like I call them the super fans. I mean, anything you do, you've got your super fans. So, and it's always nice, but when you develop a relationship, you're going to have a larger base of super fans, which is what I really like. So, okay. You're doing good, brother. Coming in nice. Okay, perfect. All-American Prepper. I'm glad to see you. So, I got to tell you, Sam has really developed. She's just sitting here passed out next to me while I'm doing this live stream, and there's dogs going by, and normally she's like chomping at the bit, like trying to break the leash to get to him. But now in the last few days, she just lays there and is like, yeah, have a nice day. That's really nice. And we just had another dog walk by. From Ashland, Kentucky, they have a lot of different programs for the homeless and a community kitchen that feed breakfast, lunch, dinner during the week, and Salvation Army and either churches for weekend. Well, that is good to know. um, you got three, but how's the food? Is it any good? Is it balanced, or does it seem like they're just trying to stretch what they got? Because I mean, Gainesville was doing that. It used to be a decent breakfast. You had variety, and then all of a sudden it just became eggs, grits, and two pieces of bacon. And then yeah, it just and yeah, that's I mean, how do you live off of that? That doesn't and then you don't get to eat again for hours and hours, and you're walking miles and miles. You got to realize out here, if you keep yourself active, you're probably spending anywhere from 3 to 5,000 calories a day, just in all the walking around. Now, if you're lazy, which means get on the train, sit in a chair all day, you're not going to burn that much. You might even gain some weight. But if you are somebody that is active, walks at least 10 or so miles a day, you're burning about 3 to 5,000 calories a day. Okay, and so that's why I eat a lot of sugar and I have a big sweet tooth. So it's because I do all that walking. It's kind of my reward for doing all the walking. So all right, let's see here. Hello, my friend. Good morning from the Philippines. Hey, Life Journey, glad to see you. I think this may be one of your first live streams here, or I haven't seen you in a while. So glad to see you here. Let's see, Nate Obvious. Okay, nice to see you. Love how you're loitering in front of a no loitering. Yes. Thanks, Jeremy, for the info. Okay, if you're burnt out on the city, swing by and I'll show you the safe spots for camping. I stay by myself just outside of town. You know what, Jeremy? I might do that, but I really, there's a trail that runs right here through Cincinnati, and I gotta tell you guys something, and you're gonna laugh. I hope you laugh. I hope you find it as funny as I do. Okay, so the other night, some dude wakes me up at about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and throws money at me, right? Like, here you go. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, not a problem. I wasn't paying attention to what it was. I tossed it in the corner in my pile where all my important stuff is. And he's like, oh, no, that's a lot of money. You need to put that away. And so, like, I'm half asleep as all this is going on. So I grab it, I look at it, it's a freaking $100 bill. I'm like, holy cow, what's with $100 bills lately? Because this is like the third one I've gotten since New Year's. Okay, I've in all the years I've been homeless, I've never gotten more than maybe a 5 or a 10. And now all of a sudden I've gotten $300 bills kicked down to me in the last 5 months now, which is just weird to me because I've never expected it. So what I ended up doing is between that and a couple of tips that came in, is I bought me some more gear because I need to be prepared that if the city falls apart, I still need to be able to get on the road. Just because I'm here doesn't mean I'm gonna stay here no matter what, die on this hill. I'm not gonna be that stupid. If it comes time to and I need to get out of the city, I'm gonna get out of the city. And so I need to be prepared. So I bought the Ryu the Ryu cook set, which I've already done a short on. I've already done a gear review on. I'm gonna probably do another one on it, just and probably do something a little bit different with it, and talk about how much I like it. Because I mean, I already ordered one. I ordered it again, so I must like it. I bought me a canister, which, man, even the small ones, they used to be like $6.50. Now they're like $12, and it's like almost $20 for the large, the 100-gram cans, or something like that. It's the larger cans. They're like twice, 3 times the size. One of those large cans lasts you about a month. If you do butane, okay, and you cook every day, it's gonna last you about 3 weeks to a month, depending upon how much you cook and how long you cook. Okay, and I also got me a little pocket knife. Now I wanted to experiment. I wanted something that had a button that would push. Now, Jeremy, I still have the one that you showed me. I'm going to probably have that as a secondary knife later on for other things. I do want to have it, but I want to ask you some questions about it. I'll probably ask you over on Patreon in chat. But it's probably about this big, and I've already given it a nickname. I call it the butt plug. Okay, I hope some of you are pissing yourselves right about now, because when you see it, it's just tiny. It's about that big. Okay, and it has a safety on it, but you got the safety, and then you have the button, and it comes out to about that big, And so yeah, I just nicknamed it because I mean you can't do anything with it unless you just want to like poke holes in a bag and watch it drain. There's it's not something that's going to do anything more than injure somebody enough to be able to get away. It's not meant to be lethal. But I wanted to at least have something to begin to work with so that I could figure out what I want to develop into later on. And so this will be my first switchblade. It was like $10. I mean, I don't expect it to be that good. Maybe one use and I got to buy a new one, and I'll be lucky, if I get one good use out of it. So, okay, headed, okay, yeah, from Illinois shortly, Jeremy. Okay. Okay, hey, Cherokee, glad to see you, man. Shrimp and Grits says, yeah, camel toe. Okay. It takes days to unravel that effort too. Okay. Survival is boom, sticks, and food, water. Um, well, I mean, yeah, food, water, boomsticks. Yeah, okay. But like, what are you trying to do? You trying to throw those in a lake and do some easy fishing because you ran out of bait? Like, I don't know. I just don't think that that's very effective. I watched a video recently, and it was talking about like when the cities, really go to crap, and you're stuck in them. Like, how do you survive? And it was talking about like if you have a dog, your dog better be quiet. Your dog better not bark because it's going to announce where you're at. So that's something, and that's something I work with Sam on is no snitching. Okay, and which there you go. There's another piece of homeless jargon. No snitching. And it's going to be much quieter. People are going to be able to hear things that are going to go on. You might be able to hear a fly fart, but there's also going to be chaos. But it's going to be quiet because it's going to be vacant. Okay, and there's going to be those that are left are going to be the criminal element, the people that just were too tied to the to the amenities and didn't want to go out and live in the woods because they thought, well, everybody else is going out there, I'm not going to be able to survive. And quite frankly, I want to be going in the opposite direction. When everybody else is going to the cities, I want to go in the woods. And when everybody else is going in the woods, I want to go in the city because then I'll be able to find arable land. And I think at that point in time, I'll probably go out in the burbs and find myself a house and just dig me up a garden and start growing food. But there will probably be no food left in the city, so I will have to figure out how to catch rodents. Okay, but you got to realize this is an evolution. This is a lifestyle that you can't learn overnight. You need to learn. It takes years, and even after all the learning that you do, all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of new crap because the whole world changes. It's thrown at you, and then you gotta react differently. And even with homelessness, it's that way. What it was like 10 years ago versus now, what it was like 5 years ago versus now, what it was like 20 years ago versus 10 years ago. I mean, it's just. It changes, and so you learn different modes of survival, and then all of a sudden those modes of survival become so outdated that you got to learn a whole new skill set just to come outside all over again, which is another reason why you want to learn why before you become homeless you always go do searches and stuff like that. That's why I keyword the things that I do, and I'm really working on it. And my older videos are starting to get some views. I'm trying, but hey, I would like to encourage you guys, if you guys like my content, to come and look at some of my older content. Some of the stuff I did in the beginning, because it was done really, really good. I had Adobe Premiere Pro at that time, but it was what it was. Okay, so anyone headed south from around Illinois that's familiar with hopping rails, let me know, please. You might want to, Nate, reach out to his YouTube channel is, what is it? Slack the Hobo. SLACK, Slack the Hobo. Reach out to him, okay? Because when I met him, he jumped out of Illinois, and I met them in where did I meet him? I met him in Nashville. So, scary how the Baltimore Bridge is already forgotten. Yeah. I mean, okay, let's see. Trump Fryer 2024. Okay, I got something for you guys. For those of you, because this is for most of those that are watching posts, because I'm so far behind in chat, I won't be able to see it and react to it in real time. Okay, but Type 1 if you are going to vote for Donald Trump. Type 2 if you would like to vote for RFK. Type 3 if you're going to vote for Biden. I'm curious if anybody here actually would vote for Biden, but you never know. But anyways, I'm kind of looking at this, and because I was one of those people that was leaning towards RFK until I saw his VP pick. His VP pick is a social justice warrior from San Francisco. I don't care. She is the next in line, and she is just as bad as Biden. He just tanked his whole campaign by choosing her, because when he introduces her, she talks about being a social justice warrior, by being an immigrant and stuff like that. And I think they've tried to put her on a ticket before. Now, but the thing is RFK doesn't need to get the liberals. RFK needs to get the Trump voters, because Trump voters are not Republican or Democrat. They are Trump voters. They are party of Trump. Okay, anybody who voted for Trump is party of Trump. They are out. They are the third wheel. Okay, and that's why he has so much power, is because he's pulled from both parties. So if you want to be able to get elected, you've got to be able to pull from the party of Trump, and get their approval, and you'll win. Okay, and I think the RFK is a better solution as an individual than Trump is, for various reasons. I don't want us to be policemen of the world. We need to let the world, you're gonna have a power. Well, no, there's not gonna be a power vacuum, because Russia and China have already taken over the helm. So it's about time for us to step back and quit trying to rule the world, because it's not our place. The American public does not want it. It's our politicians and our elites in their greed for power and wealth that are pushing along this line. But the average American does not want to be the world power, for the most part, to be the world's police, to spend money in foreign lands and not be able to take care of our own. Okay, and see, that used to be the platform the Democrats actually stood on, and that's kind of what RFK stands for. And that's kind of why people like Donald Trump, is because he was kind of, him and RFK have. I would rather see RFK be Trump's VP than to have them run against each other, though. I would definitely go Trump if he had RFK as his VP. I think that would be the ultimate game-changing move to the political spectrum, because it would be like Bernie Sanders and Ron Paul coming together to run on the same ticket. You would have so much enthusiasm, you would be surprised if things didn't get done. Okay, so I don't know. There's many ways to become homeless, as I am about to find out. The idea that it's just mental illness and drug addiction is foolishness. Yes, King, but you know how many people think that it doesn't matter what you tell them? The number one cause to homelessness is rising rent. I mean, because wages are not going up. I mean, let's look at this logically. Let's not put emotion in this. Let's not put our bias in this. Let's use logic, cause, and effect. If my rent goes up $100, but my pay stays the same, how many times can my rent go up $100 before I can't afford it? Okay, and if my wages aren't going to go up, not because I'm not a good worker, not because I'm not a hard worker, but because you can bring somebody in that's a foreigner that you can get for a lot less, and so therefore makes me a less valuable worker, which makes it much harder for me to get a job. That is the if you really want to look at the simplistic view of what the root cause of homelessness is, just like if you want to fix homelessness, implement housing first. There will not be a single homeless person, because they will all be in a house, and then you could start working on the problems. Okay, and that's the thing about housing first. But the thing is when you, and they have found out that it is cheaper to pay 3 months of your rent than it is for you to go out and be homeless for 6 months to a year. Okay, it costs them 10 times as much to pay your rent 3 times than it does to do the to offer all the services need to take care of you because you're homeless. It is much cheaper to keep you in a house. So again, you with housing first, one of the things that people like about it is that, okay, we put everybody in a house. Okay, we feel better because now we don't see somebody sleeping on a street corner. Okay, great. Now you feel better. You can sleep at night. But did you solve the solution? No. Now you got these NGOs and these not-for-profits, and you got all these organizations that are coming in, and now, in order to be able to keep that, you are going to have to either through choice training, because you're gonna, some of these people, they're so stuck in what they're doing, you're not going to change their mind. That's why they're homeless to begin with. Okay, and so if they're homeless to begin with because of that, what do you think you're going to do? Get them to clean up, sober up, and do better? I mean, there are people out here that are that stubborn. So what are you gonna do? Choice training. Same thing I do with Sam. If she wants to treat, she has to make the right choice. And when she makes the right choice, she gets the treat. She wants to keep getting the treat. She keeps making the right choice. Okay, and that is the way that we're trained in society. One, but two, this is kind of how the homeless are taken care of in a lot of ways. Because I mean, this is choice training is really what happens to us in order to get any access to any services. That's part of the reason why I butt heads with them, because it's not my choice and I'm not going to give up that choice. Okay, so but yeah, it's not mental illness, it's not drug addiction. Those are contributing factors, and a lot of mental illness on the streets is developed after you get on the streets, like severe depression, severe anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. Those are common things for you to get being on the streets. Why? Well, because you're going to have to deal with the bottom of the barrel, and then you have to deal with those that are just complete shitbags that look at you as the bottom of the barrel and feel that they are perfectly justified in doing the mean and cruel and vindictive things that they do to you. Anything from spitting on you to throwing trash on you to waking you up and messing with you in the middle of the night by, like, honking a horn in your ear, like one of those little air horns, or coming and screaming in your ear, shit like that. I mean, this is some of the crazy, mean, shitty things that people do to the homeless. No, they're homeless. What are they going to do? They can't do anything. Because yeah, if I swing and if I take a swing on the guy, I'm the one going to jail. I'm the criminal. When all in reality I was doing was basically a law of cause and effect. What you do to others, others are going to do to you. And well, you almost gave me a heart attack. You could have caused my expiration. So now I'm going to expire you. I mean, that's the law of cause and effect. And it's just this is, yeah, being homeless is not easy. It can be easy in certain areas, but when you have areas where you have wooded areas, it is much easier than living in the concrete jungle. I will tell you that. That is the one thing I dislike about Cincinnati. That's part of the reason why I'm thinking about Sam and I are probably going to go spend a week out on trail, see if we can, what we're going to do is see if we can build a routine and structure that allows me to create content while still being out there. Come in for a week, upload all my content, come in the next week, upload my content, and then just kind of have everything uploaded a week in advance with all of my editing and everything else like that that's done. So I'll do my recordings while I'm out there, come in, do my editing, schedule some articles and all some other stuff. And plus, when I'm out there, I'll be able to do things, but I'm also going to have to be thoughtful. I have maybe 5 days worth of power, and so I will be able to survive as long as I only am replacing my battery once a day. Okay, so Tuck, I'm stoned. What town you in? Sorry. Oh, Alfred, I'm glad to see you. Welcome. I started that way. I'm kind of, it's worn off though. I'm in Cincinnati. So, okay, let's roll. Illinois, gotta go. Okay. Yeah, okay. Pretty decent, but quality is going down. Yes. Okay. Okay, that must be for the food question. Like I said, I'm behind. I almost forgot what I asked. You're looking good, brother. I was watching some older content. You have lost some weight. Yeah, I have actually lost about 150 pounds on this. Now, I lost about 100 pounds of it on the bike because I starved and you want to lose some serious weight. Don't eat and ride a bike and ride about 1,000 miles. You'll lose about 100 pounds. Yeah, but the thing was I was eating once a day, and if it wasn't for cream of mushroom soup mixed with rice, I probably would have been much, much worse. But yeah, I dropped 100 pounds within the first few months. And hiking trail, I actually don't lose weight. I think I'm gaining muscle, but which is offsetting the weight that I'm losing. But I am now down to a 38. When I started, I think I was like at a 46 or a 48. So when I started preparing to come out here, so I've lost a lot of weight. Yes, you're right. I've been waiting for somebody to say that. And, I looked it up before because I was like, yeah, can fat people do YouTube? Just because I was curious, like what the stats were. And it turns out that most people that come out that start YouTube and that are heavy set through their YouTube journey, they end up losing a lot of weight and end up becoming very fit. So I thought that was interesting. And look, I've lost a lot of weight and I've become very fit. So, okay, Nate, I live way up in New York State. It would take me forever to get anywhere, pretty much Canada here. Oh wow, you better figure out a way to travel because if there's ever an instance, you need to be able to get out of Dodge quick. That's another reason why I'm here in Cincinnati. When I needed to get down south for the winter, man, it was a quick hop from here to Florida. And so now I know what to do, where to go, and how to get to exactly where I want to go. And, I will probably take the same route, do the same time, do the same schedule because I remember it. And, I'll get out of Dodge and head south if I have to head south quick on a pinch. Okay, and you need to be able to cover a lot of miles quickly, regardless of what's going on. And so trains are always going to be moving. So, and knowing how to hop a train is a good skill to have, even if you don't plan on doing it long term. If you don't want to make it a lifestyle, knowing how to jump a train is important because if you need to get around the country and there's no transportation, there's no gasoline, you don't have a car, whatever it is, you don't even have a bike, there's no rubber, whatever. You get to that point, a train is always going to be on the move because that is in our modern world considered an ancient form of travel to be able to do all this stuff. So okay. Just join. Hey, Rugsy, nice to see you. And I got your message. I just haven't. I haven't read it because it was during the live stream. That's not where you're supposed to store your knife. That's funny, Jeremy. I needed that laugh. That was funny. Okay. All right. You guys got to see me laugh. All right. Are you enjoying the Gospels of Wandering Tuck? Yes, we are. Okay, so, damn it, you just made me. Yeah, Jeremy, I get with you, man. That's perfect. Yeah, that's not where you're supposed to put that. Okay, for those of you that don't know, I have a little knife that's coming, and I've nicknamed it the butt plug. So for those of you that want context of that comment. All right, something to watch out for, especially homeless, though, is forced conscription into the military. They have been recalling vets. They're recalling vets for specific MOSs. They're not recalling them for infantry. They're calling them in for security, information security, logistics support, so that they can free up the active duty to go to the front lines should our military get overran on a two-front war that we're planning on getting into. Okay, so and I actually they just had an event here for Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, I'm gonna say it Southern style, Cinco de Mayo. So but they just had a convention down here, and they had the Army recruiter there, and I walked up and talked to one of them, got pushed over to the other recruiter. I think he was like a sergeant first class or something like that. He had two rockers. For those of you that know your ranks. But anyways, I asked him, I said, so I hear that like a lot of these guys are getting conscripted in the military that are coming across the border. He's like, no, that's not happening. So whether or not it's happening, I don't know. I don't know, because you got to realize information is compartmentalized within the government, especially within the military, because of the being secret and all that stuff. So I don't know if everybody can be conscripted at this point in time, because right now women are fighting in Ukraine. I mean, that's just, women wanted to be equal. There you go. There's your postmodern feminism right there. Go out into combat. My grandfather, I asked him why he wouldn't want a woman out there. He's like, when you get out in the bush, you can smell things a lot better. Your sense of smell gets much better. And I do notice that because, like with Sam, when somebody comes up and pets her, like hours later when I'm petting her and I'm rubbing up against her, I can smell that person. That's why I always make sure she goes up and rubs up on the pretty girls so I can smell her afterwards. But anyways, and one of the things that he was telling me is like, yeah, when a woman does that time of month, or even if she's not clean, man, you can smell that. And how do you cover that up in the bush when you're trying not to be seen? I mean, you can smell tuna from quite a while away. You're gonna walk by, ooh, tuna, and then it's gonna dawn on you. So that's why women really aren't good in combat. It's biological. It has nothing to do with inferiority. It has to do with biology and the smells in which you give off. And there's no way when you're in the bush that you can make that cooter smell any better because, yeah, it ain't gonna happen. So, King, I'm too old to worry about anymore. 35 is limit. Okay. 42 is they're gonna lower it more. But I don't know if it would worry about it. You gotta realize, like, if the United States gets overran, I don't. Okay, so there's a lot of, in comedy. There's a lot of truth. So you've heard the jokes like, yeah, if the Russians landed, by the time the Marines showed up, all they would be seeing is a bunch of empty beer cans. Okay, war's over, and that is. There's some truth in that because there are certain sections of this country now, like you go through the West Coast, you're not going to start meeting resistance. Well, now actually, because you're going to be going into like cartel territory when you get out in like the national forest and stuff like that. So you may have to deal with the cartels, but you got to realize that a lot of South America is on the side of Russia and China. So they may just let them go, let them be because they're going to be doing their thing and they're just trying not to get caught in the middle of it. Or they may choose to defend their territory. But you're not going to really start meeting a resistance until you get up into the Rockies, into like Colorado, Montana, Idaho. That's when you're going to start meeting your resistance. And your final resistance, you're going to focus it basically on the Deep South, which is Texas to Oklahoma, over to up to Tennessee, over to Virginia, all the way down to Florida. That is redneck country, and that is going to be the hardest place for for any foreign military to come into. So the need for conscription will only be to lighten up the amount of crap that the rednecks have to deal with by the time the Russians show up on their front door. I mean, that's really, there's really no value in conscription. You just sit there and say, go over there. You want to meet them on the front line. I'm sure they'd all show up and it'd be just fine. I don't really think that America will have to deal with conscription the same way that you do in Europe. Okay, that's just my opinion. Okay, but I may be wrong. Okay, one for, I believe that was for Trump, 2 for, okay. So, okay, we got Trumpers, okay. No, don't worry, I don't have TDS. The least anti-white, anti-male is DJT, far from perfect. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Well, it's not. See, that's just something to cause buzz. Okay, when you're in media, especially even being a YouTuber, when I got these trolls, there's a guy that's a troll. He trolls my account, and I will engage him up to a point, and then I will report him once he crosses certain lines. But he's helping me get exposure because engagement is engagement. And negative publicity is going to travel faster than good publicity. So if you want to get your name known and all this other stuff, and you want people to get curious and figure out what's going on, you're going to have negative publicity. So in some ways, all that helps Donald Trump. But does anybody really care about it? No, it was just on the buzz. It was just something to talk about. Because everybody likes gossip, especially like, did you hear what this guy did today? But just like people didn't care about Clinton. See, my old man was in the Army when Clinton was going through his impeachment trial, right? And being in the Army, Clinton put a gag order on the whole military. You should see my old man; he exploded. So But it's just okay. Let me move on because my brain is starting to get tired. We're getting over an hour and all this other good stuff, and so I really enjoy that you guys come out, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. And plus, I gotta lay the bed down for me and Sam, and get everything else going. So, and people keep walking by looking at me weird. What's a homeless guy doing with a camera and a microphone? What is wrong with this dude? So, anyways, video of RFK from 10 years ago. He's just like the rest. Yeah, well, that's the tent that can be made from a 10 by 10 tarp. I've learned ASAP. Okay. Yes, I don't know. Stuff like that comes natural to me, so I haven't taken the chance to actually try and put it together. I figure I'd put it together naturally, just because it seems to be an ingrained habit. So, okay, 44 is safe. They wouldn't. I don't know, man. They're conscripting old men in there. Like I think they're probably gonna go up to about 55. That's probably where they're gonna stop at as far as conscripting. After that, it's just you're just sending them off because you don't want to pay for Social Security. So not going to be positioned to vote, assuming it's not already chosen. I voted for Trump like everyone else, and he still lose. Went through 3 states and only Biden support flag, yet Trump lost. 3 states and only 1 Biden support flag. Yeah, that's about right. Look, I will say this, and I got to be very cryptic in the way I say this. But you can go on theyflyblog.com. There was a 2017 Billy Meyer warning, which was right after Trump took office. It said that the ruling elites would use the next pandemic as a way to be able to control the political and economic system. I mean, does that seem like a correct prediction? It seems like that to me. Looks like he's spot on the money because that seems to be what's exactly happened. And I've been trying to say something about it, under my breath to whoever will listen to me mumble. But that is, yeah, I don't know. This may be the last honest election that we have, though. I think that there are still a lot of things that if Biden cannot get a second presidency, I think that it will disrupt a lot of things. In the same way that when Trump came in, he was a destructive force to the global order. And it has taken them, the last 4 years to repair part of the damage in which he did. And it's going to take them another decade just to fix all of the destruction in which he did to destroy the globalist agenda. Because, there's a lot of stuff, cause and effect. And, it just... if Biden doesn't win this time, they cannot solidify their control. Okay, I don't care if RFK gets in. I don't care if Donald Trump gets in. Okay, I don't. Either one of them is still better than what we have because both of those will not continue on the path to control the political and economic system. Okay, now Trump seems like in this cycle around, he is sold out. He seems like he is more sold out than ever before, and I don't trust him. But I still think he's better than Biden, but shit, my dog is better than Biden. Okay, so not going to be in a position. Okay, yeah. Nate, Javier, I don't know. Okay, pretty desperate, but yeah, I get it. Okay, Trump wanted RFK as VP, but RFK wife said she'd leave him for real. Is that verified fact or is that folklore? Because I would be, if his that would be messed up if his wife did that. Because my ex-wife did something similar to me. See, I was so good at petitioning. My passion has always been politics and history, and I was really good at petitioning. They liked me so much that after just maybe 2 months, they're like, of doing the job, they're like, we want to groom you to become a lobbyist, so we're going to send you all over the country. We're going to send you to Washington, D.C. And if I would have been a lobbyist, oh my God, the amount of fun I could have had in life. And I would have been right there in the middle of it, but the thing was, is I was not wise enough. I would have been a punch drinker, a yes man. I would have thought about what I was doing. I would have put my own spin on it, but I think I would have contributed to the problem. It wasn't until years later that I really became hip to what was really going on. So I would have been part of the problem if I would have gone that way. But now that I look back on it, if I had the knowledge that I have now of the system, to be able to go back there and do it again and tell my ex-wife, sorry, we're not getting married then. Because she said that if I did that, she would marry me. So, rent is pathetic. Yes, it is. Their money's coming from, yes, okay. The system is fucked. That's Biden plan. Okay. They all call it a frame, supposed to be the most stable. Okay. Call it A-frame. Oh, yes, A-frame. Yes, an A-frame tent. Yes, now I get it. Okay. So, am I homeless? Yes. Homeless people going on trips with me. A hard worker is stuck at job. That's crazy. People going on trips while a man... I don't understand what you mean by that, Shaggy. So I only walked into town a couple of times a week to charge. Yeah, but how many power banks do you have, and what is what is their like, what is their size? So I got a 36,000 and a 20,000 mega amp or milliamp or whatever you call it. Being homeless is hard. Yes, it is. I even made a video about it. The drugs make you lose weight. Well, certain drugs do, yes, but I'm a stoner, so I should be gaining weight because I always have the munchies. So, good to eat. Hey, Joanna, nice to see you. I always look forward to seeing your comments. All of you guys, but Joanna, I really do look forward to seeing your comments as well. So, Shaggy, it depends. Okay. A lot of us don't mess with drugs. Yes, no. Well, it depends upon what you consider a drug. People don't consider weed a drug. People don't consider alcohol a drug. White dope they consider a drug. Heroin they consider a drug. You know, all that other stuff they consider a drug. But a lot of people don't consider weed or alcohol a drug. So yeah, you could say that a lot of us, because there's, well, no, I don't know. White dope is pretty prominent. I see for every one drunk, I see like 4 white dopers. Okay, but drunks kind of tend to blend into the city, and you don't even notice that they're there most of the time. They're kind of the hardest ones to find, unless they want to be found, but that's because they're standing on the corner going, I need a beer, can you help me out? So, rice mushroom soup is pretty good. Yeah, oh man, that is a superfood. Rice is a superfood. I will tell you, you need to always have rice as part of your diet, especially if you're on the road. If you're traveling, because the carbs from the rice are good for your muscles. It will give you the energy, and it will help you recover at night when you sleep. So it is definitely, you need to have rice as part of your diet. He doesn't do illegal drugs. Nope, I don't. You're good with Sam. Yeah, I try to be. She's been being really good lately too. So you can tell that she's getting older, because as the weeks go along, I'm starting to notice that she's calming down in subtle ways. So I'm starting to see the puppy slowly go out of her, but it's going to be another 6 months. So, okay, you want to hear a joke? Sure, Matt, I'd love to hear a joke. You're saying this as I have a train screaming by me now. Oh, that's funny. You know, train hopping's fun. I enjoyed it, but I'm not willing to put my dog at risk to be able, for my own personal enjoyment. It's a personal standard of mine that I have. I know a lot of people don't care, but for me, I'm not willing to, if I get caught, and then that means they decide they want to take me to jail. Well, that means Sam goes to the dog kennel or goes to the pound, and then I got to pay to get her out. And that's just a headache I don't want to deal with. I would rather just figure out a different way. And, trail is trail, okay, so you think we're going to war? Well, hell yeah. It's not if, it's more like when. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if sometime around the election, official war is declared. And I think that the war will be declared after the results are in. It will either be declared by Russia because Putin loses patience, and he sees that, let's say, Biden gets in, and he doesn't trust Biden. And so therefore he declares, or he sees Trump come in, and he may think something completely different because Trump may be wanting to to save face for America, so he's gonna
He's going to go out there and he's going to do a strong stance, maybe even get our military involved so that we don't look like we're weak, but still get out, and that may escalate us to war. But there's so many different ways that we could get there. I mean, Israel is trying to pull us into a war with Iran, and apparently Blinken is a card-carrying Israelite, so he's already committed our military to it. He's just trying to get the politicians on board, which that's really scary. We don't want to go to war with them, but yeah, we're going to war. So, okay, military is hurting for members at the moment. Same with law enforcement. Yes, and that's the thing is I've been reading articles saying that these asylum seekers are finding employment, and they're being sought after in the as far as being in the police force and stuff like that. So okay, so I don't think that they're going to do a draft. I really don't. I don't think that they need to. Americans are, even the liberals will stand up because they don't want Putin in here. They hate Putin. I mean, I think that's probably the one reason why the liberals are the way that they are right now, is because if they didn't, you'd have had most of the West Coast that would roll over and play dead for Russia and China. But now that you've gotten the liberals to hate them, now that's a form of resistance. And the rednecks like hate anybody that ain't American anyways, at least, coming into our land. So, okay, okay, let's see. Yes, I do think we'll go to Florida Man. Oh, yes, Florida Man, yes. That's funny. Oh, I can't remember her name. She's out of Texas. I can't stand her, but I loved her segment, the Florida Man. I did not have... Yes. No. I just used a cigar instead. So I think you're really... okay, what do you look for? First of all, I'm not a man. I'm not into men. Whoever, what is it, Cassidy? I'm a straight male guy. I do not go for men. I like women. And I'll leave it at that because, one, I'm not really trying to get into a relationship, and two, I'm not exactly sure what it would be like to date a subscriber. Not sure if it'd be like dating like one of your employees. Not sure if I want to cross that line anyways. So I'm going to keep that one to myself. So I saw you on the truck stop. I saw you at the truck stop last night. No, it wasn't me. I wasn't at a truck stop. You were a woman. No, okay, that's funny. Why were you... I like the way that I like the way that you tried that. Was it Chayton? So okay, I'm a hypocrite. I'll smoke bud. Nicotine and caffeine is my drugs of choice. Yeah, mine is work and chocolate. Like I can go without weed. I can even go without cigarettes. If you say you can only, yeah. But anyways, I think. So people keep asking me if I think we're going to war. I keep saying yes. Okay, need to get those likes and subscribes up to the appropriate levels. Yes, we need to hit 5,000 subscribers. 5,000 subscribers. Right now, we are sitting at 22 watchers right now. And you guys have been staying pretty steady, too. If and when I've been homeless, I personally stay the heck out of cities. I know there's more resources there, but I don't handle... You know what? I feel you on that, Travis. I really do. I can see where you're coming from. But to each their own. Everybody has their own things that they're willing to deal with, the things that they like, the things that they don't like, things that they can tolerate. Some things you can't tolerate, and I think nothing of. Okay. Other things I'm willing to tolerate because I find that there's more value in what it is that is offered here. But to each their own. You got to find a place that works for you. That's why creating your plan is unique to you. Are you going to be a rural homeless? Are you going to be a urban homeless? Are you going to be a home bum? Are you going to be a traveler? How are you going to travel? Are you going to be a rubber tramp? Are you going to be a hobo? Are you going to be a hitchhiker? Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to travel? How are you going to make your money? These are things that you need to decide, that only you can decide. And I can't create a guide for all of that. I could create a guide for each one, like, okay, this is this lifestyle, this is this lifestyle, this is this lifestyle, this is what it's like here, this is what it's like here, this is what you need to prepare. And then you can sit there and go through the menu and go, okay, well, I want to do this lifestyle, this is the order of operations, this is how I prepare, this is what I want to consider. I can do something like that for you guys. So, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. So there must be safer in ways, but still risky. No, big cities right now are not safe. It's a matter of time. I in 25 years, I have not carried protection on me. I've never felt the need to carry protection on me. I've never felt in danger enough to carry protection on me. And now, over the last year or so, it has become almost paramount that I have some sort of protection on me. And the fact that I haven't had it for quite a few months has kind of made me feel vulnerable. But I know that there are going to be certain events that will transcribe that will allow me to be protected and safe. I don't necessarily need a weapon. It's just more like, or anything for self-defense. It's more or less an aesthetic, a deterrent, and possibly something to make my self-defense much easier. But you need to get prepared. And the thing is sleeping. I have people that are. I had a guy standing over me petting Sam that I woke up to. Now, I chased him down the street. Okay, I didn't try very hard to catch up to him. I figured he was running and get the hint. Yeah, but still, when you're the cities are not as safe as they used to be, and every day it gets a little weirder, and that's about the best I can say. So okay, 420 and a Coke. Oh yes, 420 and a Coke. I love my Coke. Drinking drugs are okay. All right. Looks like finally I caught up to all your comments. Woohoo! So all right. So to each their own, sir. Okay. I'm here with you. I'm here with your brother. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. Hope you pack something like a pipe. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with the suggestion of. I'm going to go with the suggestion of what was it? A Reds bat, like one of those little mini Reds bats. I'm gonna have that in my side, and I'm gonna have my little butt plug in my hand. Okay. Not supposed to go there. Wrong hole. Wrong hole. So, supposed to make a hole, not go in one. So, anyways, so damn, we got more and more homelessness, but these aliens got it made here. Yes, they do. Right. What a shame. So, all right. So, there's a gear review that I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. So now that I've gotten to the end of the comments and I can kind of watch it and keep it up and real, I think society is a few stages away from everybody for themselves. Maybe in Canada, but not here, dude. This is a powder keg. Cities are a powder keg. Everybody is just because nobody knows how to keep to their own business, and then just the constant abrasions or negative interactions or contentions, it slowly builds up until they all blow up on each other. Okay, and that's really so. Anyways, so off of my merch site. So I know that a lot of YouTubers, in order to be able to sell their merch, and I would love to invite you over to my merch site. My favorite shirt, the one that I'm going to probably end up buying next month because I bought something different this month, is going to be the feelings aren't fact. Because everybody says, well, I feel. Well, dude, just because you feel that way does not mean it's a fact. And wearing a shirt to tell everybody that feelings aren't facts lets them know that you are into logic, reason, and sanity. You are one of the few sane people out there because you believe in facts, not fiction. Okay? So, but anyways, that's actually a good slogan. But anyways, and I'll probably never be able to recreate it. But that's the shirt that I'm going to get next month. So you'll probably be seeing me wear that on my live streams, and I'm probably going to get a couple of them and keep them in rotation. The other one I want to get is Be the Solution. I think that is, honestly, I think that one should have been flying off the shelves like hotcakes, but it's not. But, I also haven't showcased any of my gear. So I have got, with my butane burner, my mess kit, and my butt plug, uh, I also bought me from my merch store. I bought me the camping coffee mug that says, "My give a damn is broken. Need money for repairs." Now, honestly, I may redo that and just say my give a damn is broken and have a different punchline for that. But I really like it the way it is, and I really like the cup. So it's going to be green with white lettering, which is what I wanted in the first place. And so when I do my videos, you will be seeing that, and that will be my signal to you, like, hey, you need to go buy yourself a camping cup, okay, or you need to go buy yourself a shirt, okay. So that's something that I've got coming. I'm going to be doing my own gear review on my own product, and I'm going to make it look all nice and pretty and everything. So I'm looking forward to it with that. Another thing is over time, because of the things that I've got going on, one of the things that I have to really be considerate and thoughtful of is that I need to be able to have enough time to do everything. So I've got a newsletter that's got to be written. I got blog posts that I got to do on a regular basis. I've got videos I got to upload. I got Patreon I got to upload. We got the live streams. So I want to do it all, but I got to make sure I have time for it. So I'm going, when I get my viewership up to where I want it to be, I'm going to do a slow transition away, and I'm already starting to do it, where I'm not posting videos every day. I want to get to a point where I post probably two videos a week plus 2 live streams a week, which gives me four focus points with you, but it gives me the other 3 days a week to focus on the website and Patreon so that I can get that work done as well, and then have the balance. But right now, in order to keep getting the payouts, to be able to get the views that I need to get, I have to keep posting regularly until I've gone through and done all my other videos. So part of me, one of my points that I gotta complete, one of the tasks that I've got to complete is I've got to re-keyword all of my older videos, because they're now starting to get traction and be seen, but those are the ones that I've redone, and I've got like 300 freaking videos, so it's gonna take a minute, and I'm doing a couple of them a day, so it's gonna take me about 6 months to do that. But I want to get to the point where I'm getting about 20 to 30,000 views based just from what it is that I'm doing with my older videos and my older content, so that I can make better, newer content, less frequent, but still have enough time to do what it is that I need to do. So it's something that I'm moving towards. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. I'm down to almost 20% battery. All right, so quick question before I leave, before any of this. Which sounded better? Did it sound better with my mic or without my mic? Okay, because I like it this way because I'm a loud person. My hearing, if you and I ever come in to talk, you're going to have to talk loud, because I'm actually hard of hearing. I got lots of scars in it from ear infections and having operations on them when I was a kid. But I'm just curious, which is better, this one or the mic or no mic? And so I can figure out, whether or not that mic was a good purchase or not. The other thing is, become a subscriber. Make sure you share the content. I'm going to start doing a push for this month to ask you to share every video that you watch, so that it helps me get the views that I need to be able to get, and we can get everybody in the habit, because the best month I had was the month in which you guys all shared my content. It's the most shares I had, the most likes I had, the most views I had, and a lot of it had to do because it all started with you guys sharing my content. But yeah, there's so many different ways to help the channel. It's all down in the description. I got my merch shop, I got all that stuff. But next week you will be seeing a gear review of my little pocket knife, my cook kit, the butane, and my camping cup from my merch store. Okay, and so be prepared for that. I am working on a series right now that's called The Path to Homelessness. That is part of what actually created this document. So this document is actually going to be made into individual videos, and I'm hoping that it gets enough traction. But I kind of want to see how this how this marketing campaign goes with getting people to come over, sign up, and get the free guide. Because if I get, let's say, 20 people to come over there and do it, that's enough based upon size and just kind of how much of a footprint that I have. That's enough to tell me that there's enough interest to where I could probably get 500 to 1,000 views initially to start the video, and probably several thousand views over time. But we're going to have to see how this all plays out. So if you haven't come over to my website and subscribed to my newsletter, please come over, subscribe. You'll get the guide to being homeless. It'll be food for thought to kind of give you some ideas for planning, preparation, what to expect, and kind of, you know, how to navigate and maneuver yourself. Okay, and I will be updating it over time. You know, if this is something that you think is going to be really important to you, I would suggest saving the confirmation email and then just clicking on the link from time to time so that you can see the updated changes that have been made to that document. Eventually, what I will end up doing is over on Patreon for maybe $5 or $10, because I want to do specific guides for specific things. I'm going to put them all together in one for like $5 or $10. That way you can get your own digital download and have all of that there for yourself, because not everybody, because I mean, you only get one free guide. And so every time I do a marketing campaign, you know, there's going to be, some people are going to have the new guide but not the old guide, you know, and some people are going to have the old guide but not be able to get the new guide, you know, so on and so forth. So I think about creating it that way so that everybody has access to it for those that want it. Okay, I don't know what you guys think about it, you know, but I'm just curious what you think. So, okay, Jeremy, right now, okay, so without seems to be fine. So I'll start doing what is it that makes it better? Is it sound quality? Is it fluctuation of voice? Is it the way in which I sound? I sound a lot better because I'm able to kind of fluctuate up and down, or is it actual sound quality? I'm curious. So, but anyways, guys, again, you know how to help the channel, you know how to do all the cool stuff, you know, and this week, again, I'm asking that you come to location inside matters. Okay, so yeah, that definitely does matter. Well, I've got the sound booth tomorrow. I didn't, if I get here, like when I get done with this live stream, I'm done close to 8 o'clock. So once I get done with the live stream, I got to come where I'm sitting right now. And last time I did a live stream and did that, when I did it inside, I almost lost my sleep spot. And I'm just not at a point right now where I'm willing to lose it, so that's why I keep coming here. Eventually, things are going to change, and you know, we will probably start doing it in the Sound Lab on Tuesdays. But Saturdays, for sure, we will be doing it in the Sound Box. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Okay, you sound more natural this way. Okay. So it's the fluctuation of voice. All right, so I'm going to have to work on having fluctuations while keeping my voice low. Good to know. All right, alrighty then. Either that, or I'm going to have to, in my editing, turn the volume way the hell down. I will figure it out, but it is good to know. You guys are my audience, and your feedback helps me make better content for you. Okay, caught a lot of background with the mic. Oh, really? Huh. Good vibes, peace. Okay, all right, guys. Nice seeing you. Thanks for showing up. See you in the next live stream Saturday.